It's Kim Donnette, Kimdonnette. Hope to see you out here in Gladewater. Don't miss it.
She's Kim Donnette.
Totally. Jeez, man. I think the most embarrassing thing was a time I was performing and I didn't navigate the step down and fell off the stage and into the front row where some people were sitting. That was probably the worst. I didn't injure anybody, but it was pretty close. Favorite gig ever? Dude, it'd have to be the one we did recently at that one venue out toward Gilmer, where you had that really beautiful blonde, and we were out there playing, and the whole audience was like so into it. You remember?
It's Rowdy Creek.
Yes, and you remember she was like a little rowdy herself?
Yeah.
That
you know
was...
my wife's gonna see this, right?
Blues for me. The biggest reason I think is because blues is kind of the music of people who experience life in pinnacles and in valleys. You know, blues is one of those types of music where it talks about pain, it talks about experiences, it speaks to emotion. I mean, and all music does to a degree, but that's the birth of blues. Blues was born out of heartache and adversity and trying to make the best out of situations that most of us can't fathom. And I think there's something in all of us that can connect to that, and that's the reason why I was so drawn to it.
One thing, you know, most people don't know about music, anybody that knows blues does, but it comes from life. You know, it comes from horses behind wagons, it comes from trains. You know, you can hear it. The boogie came from the wood mills, you know, the machinery in the wood mills. You know, this is like real life, this is nature coming out. And that's what it is for me, just getting down into the primal part of it. And then after that, once you sit on top of that, you know, it doesn't really matter what you play, you know, because then you're starting to deal with the song and what the words are in the song, what the song's about. So really for me, it's just, you know, it's the groove and the song sitting on top of it.
There are some songs where you need to let the instruments talk. You need to let them have the space, because sometimes the space in a song is powerful. And if you try to fill it too much, then you lose something in that mix. I mean, sometimes the audience is really digging an instrumental moment or a riff or something the guitarist is doing, and you don't want to interfere with that. They're having an intimate moment between the guitarist and the audience. I don't want to come between that, because that's part of the show. I grew up in kind of a weird situation, because when my friends were listening to Michael Jackson, you know, and Thriller, I wanted Nat King Cole CDs for Christmas. I love the old school stuff. I like the old jazz, the old swing. I like the richness of the music and the things they could do, like Ella Fitzgerald, one of my favorites, and the things she could do vocally. Holy cow, man. Billie Holiday, you know, Etta James. And so, you know, I pull a lot of those influences even into the blues, because those are the chicks I thought were just so phenomenal. I like what I like, and it's a pretty broad, eclectic range of music. My performance, you know, tends to be driven by things that are, I've got to be able to connect emotionally with the song somewhere, because every song for me is a performance, and it has to have a flow and a peak and a valley and a curve, and it can't just be a flat, I can't just be standing there singing. It's got to be a full, every song needs to be a full performance in some way for me. Have I ever who?
Have you ever phoned a performance in?
Phoned a performance in?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
That's right, she doesn't know what that means.
We're going to be doing I would say our show's going to be some of our originals, right?
It's gonna be gumbo. It's gonna be covers, originals. It's gonna be music. We're continuing a live music tradition. Is what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to keep it alive.
Yeah. And it's going to be a great mix, an absolutely phenomenal mix. It's going to be some good, cool originals that I'm super proud of, that I think are pretty awesome, and then covers that we love. I mean, you know, that have got this, that have a similar feel to the originals that we do, because to us that's all in keeping with kind of having that flow.
Which favorite cover?
My favorite cover? Man, I've got 3 right now that I really enjoy doing. The first one I really like doing is Rock Me, because we do it so different. And it's just different. I mean, people are not expecting it. Some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it.
Which is why we do it.
Which is why we do it. It's just a song we do, and we do it so differently that people are just kind of like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. Another one we do is Chain of Fools. And we do that one very different.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
And then the other one that we've added recently that seems to get a very strong reaction is Janis Joplin's Piece of My Heart. And I think people don't expect that one from me.
Not enough bands do that song.
So they're usually a little surprised.
This is just one more crowd that we got to win over, because we always do.
Yeah.
You know, it's the thing. It's like, yeah, we go in there, we start playing what we play, and at first, you know, you'll get the faces where it's like, oh, this again. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, hang on. You know, because I mean, you were talking earlier about the sound. It's like the one thing that we are really cognizant that we want to be authentic. You know, we're not going to try and be an imitation of something.
Right.
You know,
Right.
which happens a lot. You know, you see a lot of artists out there that say they're one thing, they're an imitation of something that's already come around before. You know, we're trying real hard not to be that.
Yeah. What we're doing is there's so many different things kind of blended into the mix that people find themselves tapping their feet and swaying and enjoying it, even if they're hardcore country fans or even if they're hardcore rock fans.
Right.
They find something in the music and they go, oh, that was...
It's gumbo. Who doesn't like gumbo?
Exactly. You're playing in a bar, people aren't really there to hear you play. They're there to play pool or pick up the hot chick sitting in the corner or whatever. And this is an actual opportunity for us to tell a story and to engage people in the show that we do without all that other. The biggest thing is I'm chasing the dream I've always wanted to chase.
I got one show.
And for me, this is living out something I've always wanted to do. And if they're excited with me, that's fantastic. And if they're not excited with me, it's okay. I don't know what's going on in their world, you know? And so I'm just gonna do the best I can do. The show's gonna be as authentic as I can make it, because that's how I like to do it.
Yeah.
So did I tell you I've performed here before?
I heard a rumor.
Yeah. Well, back when I performed here, it looked very different. It was kind of done, this was actually an old barn back here, set up like an old barn. The stage was much more narrow. You didn't have quite the depth of the stage.
Right.
Wasn't set up quite the same. And it was more of like a country variety show.
This is more like a Ryman theater trip.
Totally. Yeah, it wasn't quite, rhyming, but it was definitely, the locals really enjoyed it. I'm excited that this theater is still here and functioning.
Yeah.
Because one of the saddest things to me would have been for this community to let this die.
Oh, absolutely.
With all the history here, are you kidding me?
No, I'm here in town all the time. I eat right across the street, and after we get done eating, we come over here, and I'm like, why is this place not open?
Exactly.
Why is this not a venue?
Exactly. And now.
Yeah, now it is. As soon as I saw the sign go up.
Thanks to Jackson.
Yeah.
It's actually here.
Yeah. As soon as I saw the sign go up, I was like, hey, we got to play here.
Yeah, exactly. I've always loved the theater. I think I've told you I was a theater major in college, right? And so I've always really dug the theater. And the history and the thought of this theater and the people that were on this stage prior, man. Elvis, Johnny Cash, you know what I'm saying? Jerry Lee Lewis. I can't play piano. But it was just the thought of being able to be here and do our show. And in a community that, you know, where my kids pretty much grew up. I mean, we were just down the road in Gilmer.
Right.
You know, my kids grew up in Gilmer. And I mean, it's like, here we are at home, basically, getting to do the music we absolutely love in a place we call home for a community that is supporting this new venture. I just can't think of a better reason why we shouldn't be here, you know?
Hey, Gladewater, come and get it while it's good, so it's never gone.
That's right, exactly. And if anything I can say to you to encourage you to come out, this is a place of history. And it's going to be an intimate performance. And you're going to get to experience a high energy show with a hometown girl who's chasing a dream, and things are starting to happen. And I would love for you to be here with me as we launch this thing off. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. This is an experience that you won't get anywhere but at Jackson's Theater.